Hey guys, Clumsy here. Oh, we're here finally. This has been a long time coming. I have been looking forward to this stream for quite some time. And most recently since last week, since I got my hands on the simulator. So thank you for joining me, everybody, on this stream. Video, audio good? Let me know. I'll also monitor the performance on my end. Ooh, GG Patrick. Goodness, 8-month streak. Thank you. I also got something. What is that? Hyper Slam. Good, awesome. We have some birthday boys in the stream as well. Happy birthday, Calvin. And, let me try and pronounce it. Orokovic. Is that how you pronounce it? Happy birthday, guys. Hope you had a great day. Thank you for joining. Who do we have in chat? We have Kamaste, Scripps, Calvin, Alex. How have you guys been doing? What have you been spending your time on? Sorry if I missed anybody. And Thaddeus, of course. Thanks for joining, guys. Glad you made it. There we go. Orochovic, there we go. Okay, almost got it. All right, so where do we go today? Sky's the limit. My goodness, it just feels so liberating being able to travel almost anywhere in the world. Any particular preferences? I also added some fancy stuff in the channel points. So if you look at your channel points rewards in the lower left of the chat window, that bubble icon with your points in there, there should be some new points that you can consume. So you can decide where we go next, and you can decide which plane we fly, stuff like that. It's a bit expensive right now because I don't really know how much points you guys have, so we'll scale it as we go. But for now, it's priced very expensively just so we can use something. Thank you for following. Welcome to the channel. Feel free to say hi in chat. It is currently 8 a.m. in Singapore. Is it, I'm assuming it's 2 a.m. there or something? Hey Hud, glad you made it. There's something on the wing. Hey Led, how are you? My goodness, this is so scenic, isn't it? The reflections, all the details. This hangar mode is so cool. 2 a.m. indeed. No worries, Hud. Thanks for dropping by. Enjoy your class. Yeah, I have been so into Flight Sim 2020. My goodness, this sim. Yeah. I don't even have words for it. So yes, feel free to spend those points if you have something in your mind. Otherwise, we can go and explore anywhere we want. Any particular requests, even if you don't have points, if you're not getting any of those rewards claimed, then we can go and try to fulfill those. Yeah, the details. And I love how the details they put in. It's not just like pretty and perfect. It's very realistic. Later, when we look at the landing lights, you see like there's scratches on the glass part. Just so much detail put in. Let me use my mouse later to point at that. Hey Sonoma, glad you made it. Need to do some computer upgrades. Do you know which one is bottlenecking you, like GPU or CPU? I think we're all waiting for 3000 series by now. So this sim, if you haven't heard yet, it excels very well in the flight model. I've heard that the flight model is very accurate. Like real world pilots are commenting that it feels very real, feels very natural. Like 1 out of 10, it's like a 9, 10 being the highest. That's what I heard from Flight Deck to Sim, a real 737 captain. So I believe it, and it does feel real. It's like how the books tell that a plane should behave. It does it. So in that regard, it's great. So flying the smaller planes, it's perfect because you get that very realistic feeling. You get thrown by the wind and everything. When you go close to the mountains, you get the wind from there, and you start getting like hammered all around depending on how strong the wind is. So it's super cool. Although it is still a bit, well, not a bit, it is still very lacking when it comes to the airplane systems. So even though we have so many planes available, we have the funky 787 Dreamliner, the 747, all the fancy turboprops and private jets. Even though we have them, I'm not really inclined to use them because the systems are very limited right now. It's mostly like very basic stuff. So the point of like being in a fancy plane but not having any of the fancy systems kind of defeats the purpose. It looks cool, but it doesn't feel cool yet. So for now, I think we stick with the propellers, the basic stuff, because these guys perform very well, almost all of them. Well, I have only tried a handful, but a lot of them are very well simulated. Complete checklists and everything. Yes, I did update my GPU drivers. I think it helped a bit. It definitely helped the recording stuff. So I don't have to, so far, I'll monitor it. But I have my preview on in OBS. Normally OBS the preview needs to be turned off initially when I first recorded this last week. With that update that came out, I think I can keep it on now, and that helps a lot. So yeah, the smaller planes really excel in this sim at the moment, and then I think we'll have to wait for third-party developers to think where we to go into the study level planes. Just installed it. Yeah, give it some time. Maybe it's just loading stuff up. Extra 330 LT. What is that? Are you familiar with this? I'm not very familiar with it. Actually, I haven't flown it yet. Should we? It looks like an aerobatic plane. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so you can go into your hangar and change any aircraft and just do it like this. And just see how it looks from inside, from outside, do that bit of showcasing. Stuff like that. The extra and pits are aerobatic planes. Oh my goodness. Me and aerobatics probably won't work very well. This one, oh yeah, this very much feels like an aerobatic plane. Yar, Jack! My goodness, that video you showed, Elite Dangerous hype, huh? How was space? What were you doing in Elite Dangerous today? This does support mods. It comes with a built-in marketplace. You can see here. Converted to your local currency. So there are a couple of payware stuff already. I'm not sure if they allow changing the existing planes. I think it's a bit of a gray area based on the Q&A, because all the planes are licensed, so modding them might be a bit of a gray area, and the developers don't have an official statement on that yet. But what developers can do, what third-party developers can do, is they can build their own plane from scratch. Like this guy, you have a Carenado plane already that is for sale. So I hope they allow that, because they have all these fancy planes already. They're just missing systems, and I'm sure if they allow that, some talented modders will step in, like Zebo maybe, or somewhere along his level, and take care of the slack. You have installed the first 3 free airports from there. There are 3 airports already. Wow, nice. Which airports does he have? That is so cool. That was fast. Just want to take off and land. Yeah, there are some challenges as well. Landing challenges where you approach some famous, risky... Actually, these ones are famous. There are some like risky approaches, I think. I guess there would be somewhere here. And some strong winds. So all the different combinations you can think of. But I'm not very fond of those. I'm not at that level yet. I'm only in the starting point, basic stuff. So I would rather have like a normal landing, you know, minimal winds. A little bit crosswind is fine. What I'm super excited about are these bush trips, because these take the VFR flying to a totally next new level. What do we fly here? Ah, okay. One sec, huh? Because the idea of this one is you don't have any GPS navigation. I think I'm still bugging out a bit or lagging a bit. We'll see. I'll monitor that. So you don't have any GPS. You don't know exactly where your plane is, but you have a map in game, in sim, I should say. And then you have all these like waypoints that guide you where you go. So we can do this if you guys don't have any particular destination in mind. This is in Sierra Nevada as well, I think. Let me see. Let's have a look if there's a description. Breckenridge to Mariposa, Yosemite in Nevada. So I think, yeah, we do fly over some Sierra Nevada mountains in here. I've already done the first leg. There are like how many? 25 legs, and each leg is like a separate flight. So you can cut it into bits and do one stuff at a time. So you don't have to tackle them all in one go. So we can try this. Even though I have no clue how to fly a tail dragger, I just fly it like a normal plane, which is very wrong, like a trike. But somehow I can still take off minimally. So we can start with this if you guys don't have any particular preferences. How big in terms of hard drive space? It's I think 120 gigs. I had to free up a lot of space, definitely. Very small country airports in Poland. One is very close to your family's summer cottage. Nice. Fly to Africa and look for lions. Oh yeah, that's true. There are animals here in this sim. There are elephants, giraffes. I think there's those flying things as well. I'm not sure. Ducks? No, ducks don't fly. Let's go and try this out. The suspense is killing me. Savage Cub. Are you familiar with that plane, Alex? Because it sounds like a classic. So we start from here, Breckenridge apparently, and we will be lagging a bit. My FPS is tanking right now. Hopefully you guys can still hear me, but it's just the loading. Hopefully, we'll see. Oh my goodness, so much reds and oranges. Fly to Africa and look for Big Ben. Yikes. So hang tight, guys. Let me know if my audio starts to stutter, okay? The video, it's fine. It's expected during this loading time, but the audio should still be fine, hopefully. There we are. Okay. Now let's monitor if this degrades. There's still the problem. Yeah. So I'm still lagging out. So what I think I can do is I can disable that preview. There we go. I think that's smoother now. Alright, let's keep it like that. Alright, I was hoping that it was fixed already. Okay, stream is good. Alright, thank you. So I don't have the best frame rates. I have, I guess, 30 plus if I'm lucky. Yeah, 34. And yeah, it's a bit stuttery going up and down bit by bit. But we can work with that. Just enough for smooth flying. J3 Cub. There we go. I'm not very fond of these tail draggers because you can absolutely see nothing in front of you. Like, even if you look up like that, you still can't see anything. I've seen a video where they do aerobatics in some of tail draggers. I'm not familiar with the model, but when they're taxiing to the runway, they actually have to like zigzag. They do a zigzag taxi just because they can't see in front. So they would have to like taxi diagonally so they can see from the left, and then they taxi to the right so they can see from the right, and then they do that kind of zigzagging so they can look. Why are we moving already? 1 second. Stop. Someone's excited. Do we have a mixture control here? No, no mixture here. Okay, good. S turns, yeah. It looked so weird first time I saw it. Because Steve Okinivo made a video showing some aerobatics he was able to ride with some people who knew what they were doing. Alright, so this is what I like. Bit laggy, guys, sorry. Hang with me. So we depart from Inyokern Airport. This is where we are currently. And this is what I like. So you see, you have like different steps. So you can actually do something like follow the heading and time yourself till you get there. That's one way. Or you can do it and base it on the descriptions and try to understand what it's telling you, what landmarks to look out for, and use this VFR map, isoline map, so we get the view of the heights. So what I understand here is we depart from the airport and then we kind of follow keep the mountains, the mountain range to the west, to our west, just follow it along. And then eventually we'll kind of squeeze into a valley of some sort, entering like a lake, a small lake or something. But yeah, basically we follow the west. We keep this mountain range. This might be part of Sierra Nevada, huh? Keep that in our west and just stay inside in the middle of the valley. Oh, there's actually an AI, or is that a player maybe? Playing here. So it looks pretty straightforward so far, but that might be a bit tricky. Yeah, we'll see as we go, and we'll pause as needed. But yeah, that's what I like. And then you can even read the stuff here for more flavor text. Heading northwest toward US Route 395. So we actually follow roads. Do IFR again here. I follow roads. So apparently this is a road, but I don't think we can actually follow that, because if we're directly on top of the road, we won't be able to see it. Okay. The long asphalt ribbon bends ever so slightly north, leading you into a pass flanked by sloping hillsides and eventually toward the aptly named Little Lake. So that might be, I guess this one, be the Little Lake. Yeah, alright, I got it. How are the winds like? I have no idea. Do we have any? No, we can't tune into any radios or anything. So what we can do is look for the windsock. Looks like some players there as well. Oh, that's cool. I turned on the ribbon to see the players. That's nice. Now I know there's a runway here. There's the ribbon. There's the windsock. So I think departing this way would be good. So that would be, what are we at? 3-3. So something like 1-8. Something along those lines. Okay, let's try. Hard part here is the taxiing, I think. Alright, let's remove those stuff for now. So I've watched a few videos from Aviation 101 when he was trying out tail draggers. So I understand just a little bit of how different it is. But it's so different, like the how you take off, how you taxi even. Looks like it's very strange. Like, look how you can see nothing from there, from in front of us. Well, we can cheat and do it like this. Like, look, I'm going outside already. 0220. Yeah, I think that's the one. Wow, it's really stuttery right now. Wonder why. Real planes have tail wheels. There you go. But what's cool about this is you can actually, when it takes off, the tail wheel rises. So and even the rotation is a bit different. Like, you pull back here in the beginning. Normally you wouldn't do that in a real plane. You know, in a real plane, and a trike in that other setup. Alright, let's do this. Landing lights. I don't think there's anything else we need to change here. I'm hoping that is correct. 29er 9er 2. one there. Okay, good. Wonder why it's so stuttery. One sec, guys. Let me check something. Yeah, look at the stutters there. If I lock it to like 30 FPS, would that be good? Would I avoid those stutters? Oh, I really still get it. Those stutters like that? So weird. Well, let me try something. If I turn that off. Nah. Still there. Okay, let's keep that in. Alright, we'll leave it somehow. Maybe it will settle down later. Are we even lined up? No, we're not. How do you line yourself up in the runway in this way? Where's the parking brake here? Do we have no parking brake maybe? Okay. We'll know soon enough. If it doesn't move, then the parking brake is set. Hey Sky! How are you, man? How have you been? There you go. Line yourself up on the runway. There we go. I don't even know how I took off, but it just happened. Let's remove that FPS counter. Let's hope that the stutters go away eventually. Alright, here we are. So it does say we follow the road 395. I'm not sure where that is at the moment, but I'm sure we have to face northwest. So right now, if you look at the compass, we are facing west now. And that one, yeah, looks like that's northwest. So let's climb to around 4,000 feet to start. Landing should be fun. Oh yes. I don't know how you land on this thing. These tail draggers. So try not to look around as much so we don't feel those stutters too much. But yeah, I'm not sure, maybe it's related to the release, because since the sim released yesterday, it has been a lot less stable. So I can imagine, because a lot of people are downloading and stuff like that, so it's a bit less. Lots of things are rely on lots of things on the servers to download new scenery and stuff like that. And if the servers aren't perfect, then you can imagine the problems that will cause in the sim. Although in this case, my stutters, I'm not sure. In recording, I don't get that problem. I'm not getting any lost frames. So everything looks good from recording point of view. But it's just like the sim itself is weirding out. Strange. Okay, let's level off here. Around 4,500. That's route 395, I guess. Should be. Is that Sierra Nevada, you guys think? Could be. Did I download from Steam? Yes. No, one sec, let me try something. This could be related to that Sim Connect thing. It's fixed. It's fixed, there we go. Okay, it was the Sim Connect thing. I heard similar reports about that. Not sure if Thaddeus are still here. But yeah, there seems to be a problem I had little nav map open a while ago, and that connects to the sim so that you get certain data from the sim. It seems like there's that connection. It's causing a bit of lag, so now it's silky smooth. Look at this. Beautiful. This is what I was expecting. Right, alright, now we can fly. Sorry about that, guys. It's going to climb up to 5,000. We'll adjust as we go. And let's have a look outside. Oh, there we go. Those are the circular farms, is it? Those ones? So yeah, based on satellite images. And I realized something. Ah, yeah, maybe I should tell Thaddeus. I'm not sure if he's still here. Maybe that's why he's stuttering a lot. Because he's using FS Economy, which uses that plugin. Sim Connect. Yeah, I'll let him know in Discord. He might get a performance boost from there. Oh, there you go. Ah, okay. Yeah. Alright. In my case, it helped tons. My goodness, now it's silky smooth. I also realized something. I was just today, I was flying a while ago in El Nido in the Philippines. It's one of the best and most expensive destinations. Me and Mrs. Clumsy were trying to save up for it. And hopefully we can go there sometime. Like it's along Maldives level, I guess you could say. But what I realized is this sim, so it gets like satellite images from Bing Maps, right? And puts them here, which makes it great. But that means it's reliant on the satellite images. I noticed that it does something more than that in some cases. In this case, I don't think it's applicable. But in like lush areas, what it does is it fills everything, almost everything, with trees. And so even those satellite images aren't really that perfect, it has that like very realistic look. If you've watched Keralis, you'll know his love for bushes. And when he plays City Skylines, he just plops trees everywhere, and they make so much difference. And that's what's happening here. So even if in the Philippines, some of the satellite images aren't perfect, they have even clouds there, you don't really notice them as much because they put trees all over. And it looks so real, and just like the satellite image is just like a tiny percentage of what you see. So it's all super realistic looking, and the imperfections are kind of hidden. I think the problem only comes in is when you go high up, because when you go high up, let me turn on the stream preview, at least the browser, so I see if I'm still live at least. There we go. Okay, looking good. What was I saying? Of course I forgot. What was I saying, guys? Tell me. This plane needs a DD60. Oh yeah. Actually, I toned down the engine sounds. If I max it out, my goodness, we'll all go deaf. It's like maybe it's not 2-stroke level like Mac R, but it is. Like right now, it's at 60%. Master volume is at 80. Engines are at 60. If I go 100, I won't be able to speak anymore. But if I throttle up, not bad. I particularly like the sounds on the, what plane is that? The Robin. Later we can jump there. That's my favorite plane at the moment. Hey, thank you for joining. Welcome to the stream. Feel free to say hi and chat with us. It's too quiet and smooth. You mean the flight? Should be shaking maybe, huh? Yeah, I think that the cabin shake with the engine is something they have not implemented. You know what? Maybe that is here. One sec. Let's see. Because sometimes it's there. Camera. Because you can change like the camera shake. But there is no other stuff. Okay. Yeah, camera shake is there, but it's not that excessive. Hey, what the? Or I call you 86 instead. How are you? Thanks for joining. The Crackle version will be epic. Yeah. So let me know if the engine gets too loud, okay? So I can turn it down again. In the meantime, I can keep this. So I like this pace. We're traveling at, what is this? Miles per hour? Kilometers per hour, okay. 130 kilometers per hour. Not that bad. Just tracing the highway here. Why am I losing altitude? One sec. And now we can plan it better. So we can see. So you don't really see where we are, right? And that's the great thing about it. So I would assume... Let me move to the left here so I can look at through my right side. This plane is amazing. Okay, so we have like mountains here. I'm guessing that's this point right here as we enter that corridor in the middle. In terms of body of water, we should have like a bit of body of water on the left side, like this one. Let me move back to the right. Which I have not seen yet, unless it's that one. I think that's that one. Oh yeah, that's water. Okay, that's the one. So we are on track here. And there's 395. We trace it up. Do you guys know if this is in ATS? US 395. No cabin shake for sanity reasons. That's true. It might be fun for the first few seconds, but yeah. Have you ever flown in a plane like this, Alex? I kind of remember you are quite fond of going to like air shows and looking at planes, classic planes. Those mountains don't look bad at all. You have flown in a small plane. Oh, that's nice. Man, I would like to try that someday. As you guys might be able to tell if you look at the channel recently, there has been nothing but flight sim content in there. Really sorry to the trucking fans, but it's just so hard to tear myself away from flying. It's just so fun, and flying these small planes is just a joy. In this sim where you can go anywhere. I do have a silent trucking video coming out later, and we will be trucking on Friday. But yeah, in all honesty, the excitement for me is currently here, all in the flight sim. So my hope is even those who are not very interested in flying get a bit curious, and maybe we can all, even if not the flying itself but the sightseeing part, we can both enjoy. What I'm trying right now is I'm trying to compile the list of comments in the channel, the suggestions, and then I'm trying them out offline, and then if I get something that's good, then I make a video out of it. So if you guys have any ideas where you want to go, like if you know of a real scenic spot, let me know and we can try it out. Oh yeah, Grand Canyon. Yes, let's go. So let's do this trip and then let's go to the Grand Canyon and see how it looks from close. Could fly below the rim. That's true. Using an aerobatic plane. Maybe not an aerobatic plane. Yes, Grand Canyon I like. This plane puts you back to the no GPS years, which is more adventurous. Oh yes, definitely. I love that aspect, that you can actually do that now. There we go. AJ, welcome back, man. Where have you been flying recently? Yes, let's go there. Delhi to Nagpur. How far is that? Hopefully that's available from GA level. Fly below the rim using 787. Boeing 737, so small. Oh, I thought that was something else. No worries, Jay. Are you enjoying flight sim at the moment? What is your impression on it? Hey, Double G. Thanks for joining the stream. Idaho has some good scenery if it is modeled well. Oh, yeah. Actually, I remember DH Blan. He's a very regular commenter in the YouTube channel. He recommended that we go to some areas that are in ATS or ETS as well, and we try to compare. And that, I think, is a good connector, you know? It connects both trucking and flight sim elements together, so we have a common ground. Not enough FPS. I'm surprised actually that Rohan was able to reach 75. My goodness. 2070s as a powerhouse, huh? So are we on top of a mountain right now? Not really, just a small lake. This one is getting a bit close though. It's actually quite nice. Not while flying. What do you mean not while flying? Although I did see a screenshot from Rohan. He was airborne and he had 75. So this scene in particular might not be as scenic actually. You know what? Maybe because I'm not sure how far it would be. Let's see. It would take some time. Maybe we can go elsewhere and I can do this offline because it doesn't look to be as scenic. The first leg was much more exciting because the first leg we had to go through here, this pass. And that had more like mountains in the middle like that. So I think it's a good warm-up, but let's jump back into somewhere else. 70, my goodness, 70, I won't complain there. Hey Marco! Las Vegas is a cool city to check out in the sim. Welcome to the stream. Oh, that's true. We can check out some of the stuff. Now we can go and let me go back to the main menu here. Bit of a teaser. So Jay did spend his points. Do you want to use that now? Do you want us to fly there now? Delhi to Nagpur. I think the guys will like it. Is that a scenic spot? Because I have no idea what you see there, so you'll have to be our tour guide if ever. So let's see, Delhi. Which one? Let's pick Nagpur first. Nagpur is much easier. Victor Alpha November Papa. Indira Gandhi. Is that a big airport? I'm assuming. Indira Gandhi. Victor India. Delhi. Delta Papa. Okay. That's 3 hours. In this plane at least. We'll see if any of our propellers can arrive there. We can go and take a Cirrus maybe. That's a bit faster. That's still 3 hours. Our plane can't even reach that. It's the international airport, one of the best airports. Ah, I see. Hey, Bozzy. Is that somewhere in Australia based on those ICAO codes? Well, we can go and do Delhi and then we can do Nagpur, but I don't think we can do both, like from there to there on this plane. And I don't want to jump into one of the fancy planes at the moment because the systems are a bit lacking. So if you don't need to fly the full flight, then we can go. Oh, we can go and pass by the Taj Mahal, and yes, that looks like a good idea. So let's fly south, southeast. Set that as arrival. This one. Agra. What country is what was that? Delhi to what? Nagpur? So that's the destination, but we can go and add that to our waypoint. We can also try to see if we can get some VORs in here. We do have a lot of VORs available. We can do that. We can try to trace that. I don't want to start on the runway. Let's start on the GA ramp for small planes. I don't think there's a small plane ramp. Okay, we can go for... There's no weather information. Interesting. Start there. There you go. Okay, that should be good. Alright, that looks good. Oh my goodness, so many runways. Indira Gandhi. How many runways is that? 3 runways? Let's have a look at the diagram. Oh yeah, indeed. But if we are GA, then maybe this one would work better, wouldn't it? Let's go there. Depart from the smaller runway. Nagpur is the cargo hub for India in your hometown. Oh, cool. Maybe we should have gone there instead. That's also in India? Ah, interesting, because it has a different ICAO code already. Sure is. Nice. That's where you live. Trip's like 30 minutes. What do those ICAO codes stand for, if you don't mind spelling it out for me? So let's use live players, live traffic, and everything. Let's go and fly there. Ah, I forgot something. I'll need to end the flight because I hate the basic call sign. The Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Papa. Something like that. Golf Sierra Papa. It's too long. It's so much of a tongue twister. Yeah. I wish you could, like, the tail number would stick. You know, you set it once, it gets saved. Right now, it you would have to assign it every flight, and I often forget it. So for those who have the sim, where have you guys flown? All assists, and also the channel has been going pretty wild recently in terms of comments, maybe in views as well, but that's mainly thanks to Flight Sim 2020 and Microsoft for allowing me to get a few days early access. A lot of my getting a bit of stutters here. Well, that's not very nice. There you go. That's really... Wow, even the entire like aura looks different, huh? Very reddish. What time is it anyway? 2 hours 30. What, 6:40, 6:15 a.m.? Alright. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it is a big airport. Okay. It did save my call sign. One sec. It does save it. There we go. Oh, that's perfect. Nice. The developers for A Plague's Tale Innocence. Which one? Yes, this is India. I actually got a couple of requests going to India, so this is perfect. So the Cirrus, I think, is one of the planes you get in... I'm not sure if it's in Deluxe or Premium Deluxe package, but one of those. As a result, it's cool, but I noticed that many of those extra planes, they're not as polished. Like, they were not 100% finished yet. Like, if you go to the checklist, you only have one checklist here for starting engine. If you compare this to like the Robin, the DR400, that guy has the checklist for everything, all the phases of flight, pre-flight inspection, before start engine run up, everything. And then you have all the recommended speeds in there, so you can really fly it. Like if you know the basics of flying, you can fly that plane pretty well because it guides you on the checklist. This one unfortunately is a bit basic, so but at least there's still something. So let's use it anyway. All right. So we make sure that the parking brake is set. That is this guy here. That is already set. Battery master switches. We do have 2 of those. Should be like this one and that one. It's good. Let's turn on the strobes as well. Mixture. Let's make sure that the mixture is rich. Yeah. Power lever is full forward. Fuel pump. We prime that. So let me go there. Sorry. The track IR is shaking when it looked below. So we prime that for 2 seconds. 1, 2. And then we boost it. There we go. And then we open the power lever 1/4 inch like that maybe. That should be okay. And then we start the ignition, which is, if I try and remember, I think here. Both magnetos and then start it off. There we go. Very nice, this checklist feature. Very nice for newbies like me who are not familiar with the plane. Then retard, set the RPM to 1,000. So even though it's not study level, it's nice to see this level of detail. It's not just like one press and it's on. Check the L pressure, it is in the green. Alternator can go on. That's to charge the batteries. Avionics can go on as well. That's good. So that other side is okay. Then parking brake and released, and the checklist is done. So yeah, not very comprehensive, but at least there's something. Nav lights, landing lights. Let's turn that on as well because I don't think there are any taxi lights. Yes, I learned this from playing flight sims and watching videos because it's so immersive and exciting and everything. Now we can get some panels in here. I'm trying to remember where those are. These ones. These ones. Panel brightness is okay. Glare shield. Adds that like reddish hue. Oops, sorry. And brightness, that one. Say it's evident one can learn almost everything from Sims. Oh, that's true. Yeah, it helps a lot with the real flying, from what I heard. A lot of flight sim enthusiasts, well, some, when they finally go and take their flying lessons, they take like the minimum amount to fly. Because it's already, like, they already know the concepts. They just need to like get a feel for the real thing and adjust depending on how different it is. But normally it doesn't take that long anymore. Now the flight plan is this one, Victor India Delta Papa. This is in Delhi, going to Dig, which is exactly this VOR as well, I think. Let's see. Looks like we are tracking the what do you call this? The ILS. But I want to track the VORs, so give me 1 sec, guys, because I want to track the VORs just for added situational awareness. So what I'll do, and the sim will be lagging again because I opened the application. Oh, that's tricky. That didn't happen when I was flying offline a while ago. Oh, look at this. So the little nav map gets information from the sim. Look at all those AI flights, AI planes. Maybe that's why it's lagging, I don't know. Let me turn that off, maybe that will fix itself. Because little nav map is such a useful tool. No, it's still lagging. It's lagging even worse than before. So what I'll do is I'll just track this one and then we'll go and fly off. Let's see. Dig is 114 decimal 114.6. Ooh, that's crazy. So when we activate that, we should be capturing the VOR. There we go. Dig is 2.2 miles away. And the next one is Sierra Kilo Alpha. One sec. Let me see. How can I disconnect the connection from little nav map? Wait, flight simulator connection. If I stop fetching, it works now. Okay, it's true. That was the main problem. So we still have the connection, but what I did now is I removed all the AI planes. Well, they're still there, but the little nav map can't see them anymore. So now they're not lagging and we can keep this on. Oh, that's perfect. And if you noticed, I found a new overlay. Normally, little nav map has the open street map, this one, which is quite useful, right? But for VFR flying, it's not really descriptive. So I found someone who linked up little nav map with Google Maps, and you can have it like the default Google Maps or the satellite images from Google Maps, like that. Let's turn off the airspaces because it's getting a bit too much. There you go. And so we can do proper VFR and compare and even see, oh, the Air India Avionics complex should be here, and that's where the plane is. That is so cool. That's why I love little nav map. Alright, sorry, a bit delayed there. I'll get back to you in a bit. Hang tight. There you go. What is the caution for? Hey Dan, it's just the pitot heat. We'll turn that on later before we take off. We're still on the ramp. We haven't really taken off yet. Welcome back, HUD. Yes, we are in India. Hey, Vendortron, thank you for the raid. Welcome to the stream, guys. Loving it. For GA, loving it. For the smaller aircraft, it's absolutely wonderful. For the airliners, I stay away from them for now. The jets and the fancy turboprops, yeah, staying away for now. So let's go and get some clearance here. Let's go and listen to the ATIS.
Delhi Airport information, Charlie 0000 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 600 feet, few clouds at 4,600 feet, few clouds at 12,200 feet. Temperature, tree 4. 2.10.
3435.
Altimeter 29.40. ILS runway 28 and ILS runway 29 are in use. Landing and departing runway 28 and runway 29. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have Charlie.
We have Charlie. 28 and 29
Delhi Airport
in use.
information, Charlie 0000 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 600 feet, few clouds at 4,600 feet, few clouds at 12,200 feet.
It's going to tune into ground. I do want to depart via runway 27. I'm not sure if there's a way to request that, because they did say that so the ATIS said that the active runways are 28 and 29 for departure. That's these two, 28 and 29, but we're very close to 27. So I wanted to use this one. I'm not sure if the built-in ATC has that option of requesting. Yeah, I don't think so. I think they'll just give us something. Right. Thanks for joining, guys. Airliners is a mess, yes. I would agree with that sentiment. That's why I'm staying away from them for now. But yeah, the GA stuff, absolutely wonderful. The flight dynamics and everything, I'm learning a lot. Alright, let's go. Departing to the south is where we want to go. But one sec, I was not yet tracking that VOR if I remember correctly. Yeah, the second VOR, which is Sierra Kilo Alpha. Well, I can't see it. I wish there was a flight plan here in full. Yeah, the panels are not too detailed yet as well. Not 1:1, but the basic stuff you can do at least. Okay, you know what? Let's not focus on that in the moment. Let's focus on the sightseeing. So let's just do the GPS thing as much as I would want to. One step at a time.
Delhi ground, Cirrus Romeo Papa. 1 Charlie Lima with Charlie request taxi to the active departure to the south. Cirrus Romeo Papa. 1
Oh my
Charlie Lima
goodness.
taxi to and hold short of runway 29er by taxiway Foxtrot 3 Foxtrot 2 Echo 2 Delta cross runway 28 Mike Papa Mike 1 Romeo Romeo 2 Romeo 3 Romeo 5 Sierra Charlie Whiskey 1 Whiskey 3 Charlie Whiskey 1 Whiskey 2 Charlie Whiskey 1 Tango Sierra
Good
3
luck reading
Yankee
that
Zulu,
map.
Zulu Zulu 1. Contact tower on 124.375 when ready. Taxi to and hold short runway 29er using taxiway Foxtrot 3 Foxtrot 2 Echo 2 Delta cross runway 28 Mike Papa Mike 1 Romeo Romeo 2 Romeo 3 Romeo 5 Sierra Charlie Whiskey 1 Whiskey 3 Charlie Whiskey 1 Whiskey 2 Charlie Whiskey 1 Tango Sierra 3 Yankee Zulu 2 Zulu Zulu 1 Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
Yes, we're going to look at Taj Mahal. Thanks, Jay, for covering while I'm busy fumbling about. So when things like that happen and you don't know where to go, you can always turn on the assistance, the nav aids here. Taxi ribbon. It doesn't look nice, but it's very useful. So we'll use that for now, and we just follow the arrows, right? Easy peasy. Release the parking brakes. Let's get going. There's runway. Why does this say 11? It should be 29. Sorry if I missed some, guys. Welcome to the stream, guys. Gamer Mickey, welcome back. Yes, so good. I love that you can go anywhere and get proper, realistic environments with some of the landmarks you can actually see and distinguish. Hey Hasib, welcome man, how are you? Basically upgraded from the beta, no Motorworks edition. Sounds good. I am taxiing a bit fast, aren't I? Someone's in a rush. That's cool, so we get to tour the airport a bit. All these houses on the side. Have you been here before, Jay? I guess you have. Does it look very familiar to you? Yeah, well, I'll be asking a lot of questions. You'll be our tour guide for today, and I'll try to read up when you say something. How did your class go, HUD? Yeah, the runway marking thing. Taxiing is now a breeze with these markers. Although I would have preferred to taxi myself. Little Navmap I don't think can integrate the taxiways yet, because in X-Plane the database could be read by Little Navmap, so it can get information on all the taxiways that the sim is using. I don't think that part is supported yet for the new sim, for Flight Sim 2020. So for now I don't have visibility on the taxiways. If I did, I would have wanted to taxi on my own way, try to find it on my own. So down. Looks like there's someone there as well on a 787. Cool. What's VFC? I'm doing good as well. Oh, I like the look of that tower. It's a big airport. You've never been able to see all of them. I can imagine. Man, that guy's living life on the edge. Did we get crossing instructions already? Cross runway 28. Okay, we did. Did not tell us to hold short on runway 28, and this is runway 28 if I remember correctly. Yes, it is. Okay. Just finished your workout. Oh, good for you. I need to do more of those. Kinokuniya. Oh, nice. To buy a Tagalog textbook. Awesome. Let me know what you learn. I'm looking forward to it. Look at that, guys. Look at how detailed this sim is. The props, even the props have their own shadow. So when you start seeing segments of the prop, maybe prop is singular, huh? You see the shadow of the plane. The attention to detail they put in here, my goodness. There you go. ATSA makes an appearance. That's the one, yes. Because he remembered that I mentioned I want to fuse the two sims together, so he made an appearance there. Where the heck are we going? Why are we looping all the way around? Delhi Airport Tour. Oh, there he is. Hey, Ego. What plane is that, guys? Can you tell? Virtual flying company. Ah, yes, there are virtual airlines for other sims already. I'm sure they will adapt for this one also. Outside the city limits, surrounded by villages and dry land. Makes sense. Excited to see how it looks from above. Once we get to the runway, that is. Yes, nautical miles. You got it, HUD. A320neo right there. There's Murbaz. Now an Nvidia fan. We'll see once the new Navi GPUs come out. But yeah, for now, same for me. Nvidia has a proven track record, so it will be hard to switch immediately unless the results are that different. How are we doing on frame rate on this busy airport? 28, 29, not bad.
Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima, hold position, caution, other traffic. Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima, continue taxi. Roger, Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
You mean for that truck? Give priority to the truck? Wow. Currently supporting another creator you love for you $2 USD a month. Goodness, no need to. If it's a bit tight, the budget, no worries, man. Your presence is more than enough. Don't feel pressured on my behalf. Happy enough you guys are here to enjoy flying with me. Goodness, they really took us around, huh? But at least it's scenic. Oh, look at that! Someone's taxiing. Let's see what air traffic control will give us. If they'll ask us to give way to the 7-8 or just ignore us altogether. Let's see if the ATC is smart enough for it. Let's try and race and see if we can beat the 787 on the taxiway to the Mice TV. Maybe he's streaming as well. I don't know. I can actually take off from here, given how large this is, huh? You were able to fly the 747. Oh, congrats. In this sim, that's a feat, I think. Let's keep our distance. We might get sucked into his engines. My goodness, that's a beast. I think that deserves a screenshot. We're actually headed the same way as him. Interestingly controllable. I think the flight controls are okay, it's just the systems are very lacking. But the overall feel of the plane seems accurate based on what they say. I watched a bit of Flight Deck to Sim stream when he was flying the 787. He didn't really have real world experience with it, but let's tailgate this guy. Hurry up. Yes, 787 is on the premium version. Hey PDX. Glad you made it, man. How are you? Tailgating jets is not recommended. Noted, maybe. How are you, man? Can we try and overtake him? Will he get mad at us? Interesting though that the ground didn't actually tell us anything. He is quite slow, isn't he? Taking his time. Just go under him, Fast and the Furious style. Yeah, I'm half tempted to. Actually, you know what? I can probably run from the next taxiway. Where are we? Yeah, because this is quite a long runway. So we can actually turn off here. Probably. Let me think. Turn off here and then tell that I'm ready for departure so we can go first, cut him in line. No, but I also want to watch him take off. So let's watch, let's see. Also, I'm curious, when you have multiplayer like this, how does it work? Because you can still pause the game like so. So, what happens to the planes in front of you? I guess they would still be moving, right? Like that one. Let's wait a little. Let me turn off the taxiway assistance. And let's see. Yeah, I think he's still moving. So we just pause, but everyone else is still moving, I think. So let's turn off the ribbon because it's really a... What is the expression for it? It's not very good looking, not very realistic. That one looks much better. I can even turn off the player names to make it super realistic. But I think for now we keep it. Yeah, I can sneak in here. Alright, HUD, no worries. Thanks for joining, man. Enjoy. Sneak up on this guy first. That's great to hear, Hasib. That is my hope, that people get into flight sim because of this. After first waypoint, it freezes up and no switches are operable. Yikes. I had that same problem on the caravan, I think. Heading back to some there's a momentum logic that I absolutely hate with the altitude with the heading. If you keep on turning it, it increments from 1 to 2 to 5 to 10 to 100, something like that. And it's very confusing. Let's go in signal tower. Where is he? He's still turning? Yeah, we can go here. Oi! We're in tower already. Dang it. I don't think it's detecting that we're here. You know what? It's clumsy flying time. I wonder if they'll scold us. Let's check it. Veto heat is on. Get rid of that warning finally. Winds are pretty calm, I think. We're not yet on the runway. That explains it. Okay, let's go close first. Yes, SR22. So we can go through the runway like this one. 29. Oh, this is 28. Oh, this is 29, it says. Weird. Okay, maybe now we can go. Ah, there we go.
Delhi Tower Cirrus Romeo Papa, 1 Charlie Lima ready for south departure at runway 29er.
Shouldn't have gone over that line actually.
Cirrus Romeo Papa, 1 Charlie Lima cleared for takeoff runway 29er departure to the south approved.
Let's go to 3,500 feet maybe initially. Southeast, yeah, odd number. Do a rolling start here. Some rotations.
Lima, please acknowledge. Cleared for takeoff runway 29er Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
There we go. Rotate bit by bit. And off we go. Beautiful. Let's keep this heading. Let me guys know if the engine sound gets a bit too loud, okay? Because I set it back up to maximum again. Finally we are airborne. After that long battle.
Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima, continue for south
The
departure. I will
787.
contact you next when you leave my airspace.
Will do.
Delhi Tower Cirrus Romeo Papa, 1 Charlie Lima, continue for south departure.
Right, let's head south. That is beautiful. Looks very different. Yeah, I mean very different from the landscape I'm used to, which is nice. I'm assuming this is how it really looks. What is your comment about it, Jay? I'm sorry if I missed some messages, guys. Your favorite is the Cessna Citation CJ4. Is it implemented properly already? Because I have a feeling the systems are also a bit lacking still. So I'm trying to still stay away from it. I want to watch the takeoff of Tudumas here. Tudumais. Are you guys?
Charlie Lima, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Are you guys okay with keeping the name tags on so we see the players, or would you rather have them off? Let me know if you prefer otherwise. Let's go and request flight following.
Delhi approach Cirrus Romeo Papa. 1 Charlie Lima is type Cirrus SR22 3 miles southwest of Delhi. Request flight following.
Are we still live, guys? Because my preview just broke
Cirrus Romeo
again.
Papa. 1 Charlie Lima Delhi approach. Squawk 5342.
Now normally the squawk you would have to plug in, but I noticed that when you acknowledge it, it automatically sets your squawk to 5342 if you look right there. So you don't have to actually plug it in manually.
Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima radar contact 3 miles south of Delhi, 3,100 feet. Altimeter 29.41.
2941.
Copy Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
Finally. Indeed. Stay at 3,500. We're almost here. Also, I noticed that the mixture control for the Cirrus doesn't seem like it's doing much. We can turn off our boost pump now. Can turn off the landing lights. It's still there. Let's tour this place a bit, guys. I love this area. So expansive, so large. Someone's airborne, I think. I see some strobes there. Tudumais, I think, is still trying to get the hang of the controls. Oh my goodness, this is lovely. Let's take a photo here. Hey, Marco, thank you for subbing. Appreciate it, man. Sorry, guys, I'm a bit behind on chat. But first and foremost, that's where active pause comes in. And That's where all these drone shots can come in. There you go. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Jay, for the recommendation. Thumbnail shot. Looks like we have it. Beautiful. Yeah, it is hot. 35 degrees. What it said earlier. This is not going to do the thumbnail shot when you reach Agra. I like the sound of that. And I love how we can actually evade the clouds now. Did Tudu Mice finally take off? Oh, he's still there. Let's overfly the airport, guys, before we go on our way. So you see, we came all the way from there. The ramp somewhere here. Taxied all the way around this runway. That's 27. This is 28. We taxied all the way through, looped around, and then finally runway 29 is where we took off from, somewhere here, I think. So yeah, we literally went around the airport. Look at the cloud in front, like what do they call it, like a mushroom cloud kind of thing. That one looks so scary. I'm gonna punch through that and see what it does. Beautiful. Let me see if I missed any messages. I think we're good. Man. Oh, there he is. Tudu Mice on the way. Alright, let's go and stay away from his flight plan there. Let him rotate. Let him build up speed. If we stay above here in the center of the runway, we should be fine. You guys see him? There he is. There he is. He has rotated. Positive rate, gear up. Awesome. Congrats. Man, and it's just effortlessly multiplayer, right? Just log in and everyone's there. My goodness, that's absolutely amazing. Air bridge. Yeah. Bridges, unfortunately, in this sim, they're not best of friends. Oh, that's far. Didn't expect it to be that far. Right. I guess we have no time to waste. Now the clouds do seem a bit high. Look at how fast that guy is going. I love it. I love having those name tags there. Shows you're not alone in the skies. Is that rain? Is this rain? Let's fly over it, guys, and see. Let me climb up to 3,500 again. Yeah, I get what you mean, Jay. So good. Air bridge idea. Maybe jet bridge at most. Is that a train station? It is. Unfortunately, there's a car driving through there. Yeah, I don't think they have trains here at the moment. Yes, the chat is frozen because my browser crashed in the OBS, so I'll turn it off in the meantime. Thanks for letting me know. See, I don't have any preview at the moment, so I'm not even sure if I'm live. So you guys tell me as soon as something is wrong, okay? Look at him! Look at him go! Ah, the Dreamliner at work. It seems to be functioning. That is super cool. Nice. Doesn't seem like we're getting any rain. Are we? I'm looking at my windshield. No, this is just maybe smog. Is smog a thing here in Delhi? We do have a rainbow. You see it? It's very subtle. Thoughts compared to X-Plane? I'm not coming back to X-Plane. Even though X-Plane has amazing study level planes, I think I can live without them for now. I can practice the basics of flying, sticking to small planes in the meantime, and I'm confident in a couple of months at most we'll get some study level planes in here as well. But yeah, the sights, the weather, it is just absolutely different level. Also, I'm not sure, but I feel like I can fly a little bit better here in this sim. Maybe it's the controls are better. I don't know. Kind of feel like it. Now I am seeing my map here. There seems to be someone there to our 1 o'clock, but the name tag is not appearing unless they're way up above. Let's see. Oh my goodness, that looks so real. Actually I thought it was real for a second because of that lighting. Studio mice right there. Look at that one. This is not even ultra settings. How much more than Chase specs? High only. Hey internet. Sorry. Lost track of all my stuff. Let's get back to 3,500. I'm enjoying this too much. Smog is a thing. Stalker in the skies. That's the one, Scripps. There's some paid study level planes already in the marketplace. I only saw one in the official marketplace. The one by Carinado, and I doubt that is study level. I don't think Carinado has been known to make study level planes unless they've changed that recently. Welcome to the stream, Internet. Hey Kiran. CPU is running hot, but you have the Ryzen 5 3600 standard cooler. How hot? How hot does it get? Because if it's still in the safe temps, then it should be fine. Might not be doing as well as the other custom coolers, but maybe we won't need to change it. Like my CPU goes up to 70 plus to 80 degrees, and some people would say that's too hot. Maybe, but it works. It's getting boosted properly. There's not much complaint there, because the new Ryzen is smart enough to determine that, right? That it can still how do you say? It can still boost itself because it has the thermal headroom, it has the power headroom, and so it boosts itself, it heats itself up so it can perform better. And if it decides that those temps are safe, then that's good. Now I think I will need to avoid some of these clouds. Man, I'm liking the look of India here. Everything looks like something is happening. You know, there's no just flat surface. It's either their houses, cities, farms. And the farms are those like very small, how to say, celled ones. Looks more active that way. Let's try and avoid these clouds, and let's try to fly level for a change. Sorry about that, guys. Live weather seemed off for you. What do you mean? Does it look wrong? Oh, that looks beautiful. My goodness. Now, is that rain? That looks to be rain. Same with that one. And that one. But I think that's also the one we passed by a while ago. How often? I'm actually not sure, but it is very smooth. It doesn't, you won't feel that it's changing. It's not going to like blink in and out for you. So you have live weather period, and it just updates seamlessly. So I don't really know how to tell when it does it actually. Idle is 60 to 70. Oh yeah, 88 to 9. Yeah, that's pretty hot. You could check, because I don't think that the standard cooler should go that hot. There might be something wrong with the thermal paste or something, but yeah, if you're not familiar with how to work with computers, I suggest putting that in the shop, having them look. Maybe it's a matter of like just putting in thermal paste again, because the stock cooler should have like built-in thermal paste, but maybe something went wrong with it. I'm going to go through some clouds here. Well, we could just descend maybe. Descend to like 2,500. That rainbow in front of us, guys. It's nice. Temperatures are 20 degrees off. My goodness, really? In which place were you getting it from? Maybe it's a hit or miss at times. Although in Manila, in the places I've flown, the numbers seem to be accurate. How about this one, Jay? 35 degrees outside on ground level. Does that sound realistic for Delhi? Unfortunately, no rain here either. Oh, that looks like a massive highway. Tudumais looks like he's stuck at 7,000 feet. He probably paused the game. The Sim, I'm sorry. Don't hate me. You're from Pakistan. Nice. I wouldn't know how to go there from here. Yeah, we could visit it sometime, I guess. Let me try to fly straight in level here. Get my horizon correct. One tip I heard from Steve Okinivo, he usually while he's taxiing, he looks at the plane already and he looks at where the horizon is. So by the time he's airborne, he can use that same reference, like 2 inches below the horizon. That's the level. That's the level flight. So he know what he needs to target. I always forget to do that before flying though, before taking off. Why is the rainbow following me? Or is that in my windshield? Not the best visibility in here. Not even sure if this still classifies as VFR, but we do have flight following, so at least we are a bit safer. Hey Agility, welcome to the stream. How are you? Only 2 months old. Standard coolers aren't the best, that's for sure, but I'm not sure if it should get that hot. So I recommend trying it out first to see nothing is wrong with the setup, and if it really doesn't perform, then maybe that's the time you can think about a custom cooler. There are specific coolers that are great for the Ryzen. I can't remember which one they are, but you'll have to do a bit of research. Because the one I got, for example, the Cryogen H7, Cryo something, H7, it's a good cooler, but it's not the best for Ryzen because they say it doesn't, like the surface is not fully flat on the CPU, so the conduction isn't the best, something like that. So make sure to study. We're getting handed off. Sure thing, thank you. 120.75.
120.75 for Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
Tune in and contact them.
Varanasi Center, Cirrus Romeo Papa, 1 Charlie Lima, 3,000 feet. Cirrus Romeo Papa, 1 Charlie Lima, Varanasi Center, continue to Sierra Kilo Alpha as planned.
35 is normal, okay.
29er.43.
Nice. 29er.43. Thank you.
Varanasi Center, Cirrus Romeo Papa. 1 Charlie
So just
Lima 30
that.
miles south of Delhi. Request IFR
That's
to
good.
Agra, ready to copy.
What did I just say?
Cirrus Romeo Papa. 1 Charlie Lima is cleared to Agra Airport as filed. Squawk 5342.
No. Fine.
Cirrus Romeo Papa. 1 Charlie Lima cleared to Agra Airport as filed.
I think I just filed for an
Squawk
IFR flight
5342.
plan.
Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima, read back correct. Radar contact 2,500 feet. Altimeter 29er.42, continue to see Air Kilo Alpha turning and following heading 185, resume on navigation, climb and maintain 9,000 feet.
9,000.
Continue to see Air Kilo
don't
Alpha
like.
turning and following heading 185,
I'll
proceed on
cancel
course,
IFR.
climb and maintain 9,000 feet.
And then I'll
Cirrus
request
1
for a
Charlie
flight
Lima.
following. So we can switch from IFR to VFR.
Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima, you are 72 miles northwest. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors, visual runway 5 approach. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors, visual runway 5 approach. Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
Noctua, yeah. Let's cancel IFR.
Varanasi Center, Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima. Cancel IFR at this time. Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima, IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 7000. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved.
Then let's request flight following again.
Varanasi Center, Cirrus
Playing
Romeo
with
Papa.
ATC.
1 Charlie Lima is type Cirrus SR22 tree 4 miles south of Delhi. Request flight following.
We are going to Taj Mahal.
Cirrus Romeo Papa. 1 Charlie Lima, Varanasi Center.
Have you guys been there
Squawk
before?
0427. Squawk 0427, Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima. Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima, radar contact 35 miles south of Delhi, 2,600 feet. Altimeter 29er.42.
Position checks.
Copy, Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
Alright, there we go. I haven't. Me neither. We'll see. I saw someone go there in this sim in YouTube, so I do have an idea what to expect, but I kind of forgot already. Tudomice is still there. I think he probably hanged or crashed by now. I don't know. Hopefully not. Maybe he's just paused, had lunch or something. Maybe that's the issue with what you guys were saying, hanging after a couple of minutes. Yes. Oh, 20 degrees higher than normal? I didn't know that. But yeah, if it reaches 90, it's going to throttle. Big Ben is just to the right? Ah, that makes sense now. Let's go and look for it. I'm all over the place here. Let me put my mic closer to me. So adjust the lights a bit. There you go. Yeah, so unfortunately, even though VATSIM I think is compatible with this sim already, I don't think I'll be trying it out anytime soon. Because for VATSIM, I believe you have to have like full systems working to help you with the workload. Otherwise, if you're doing things manually and then your systems are failing you or not working as expected, it's not going to be a very pleasant experience. So let's wait for that, then I can start learning VATSIM proper. I found an excuse again. One sec, huh? Let's see. Ground looks pretty realistic. It's amazing what they've done. Yeah, the satellite images are only one part of it. I was mentioning a while ago. I noticed that they add so much on top of the satellite image. Makes it so much real. And it hides the imperfection oftentimes of the satellite image that we see. Okay. Should be... Where are we off to next? There we go. I was waiting for that change to happen. Yes, I think that should be easily, well, not easily, but that should be possible. The platform should be able to support it, I think, in terms of flight dynamics and everything. Like even for X-Plane, we have that as well. Some fighter jets. Just depends on what the third party developers will come up with. Although I heard that the SDK is not very powerful yet, so that might be limiting some of the people to get into Flight Sim 2020. I heard Tolis is sticking with X-Plane. They're going to release a new plane next year. I think it's the A340. I'm not familiar with the plane, but it looks like it has 4 engines. Lots of people are excited, but they're going to do it for X-Plane. They're not yet happy with what do you call this? Yeah, the SDK for Flight Sim 2020. So the tools that they have for building their own planes are not yet comprehensive in their view. I don't know the details though. Looks good. Man, those clouds, huh? And they're just so random, they look so real. And if you saw that time-lapse video I posted, because I was a bit suspicious, like, yeah, it looks good, but does it move? Does it like flow like normal clouds do? And apparently they do. They just flow like very naturally. You don't even notice them if you look at them only for a few seconds. But if you time-lapse it for a couple of minutes, then you see they are moving. And they are evolving. That just looks so good, my goodness. So yeah, if you have like, if the image below isn't your liking, look above and enjoy that instead. Either way. There will be a huge river near the Taj. That's a good point. Let me try and VFR this thing. So where are we going anyway? Agra, I see Agra. Should be close there, right? Ah, I see the river, yes. It's called the Yamuna River? Is that the one? Temple... yeah, we can trace the river. That's a good point. Let me try and see where that is, so we can trace it as early as now. Do a bit of VFR. Okay, I think I see where it's like linking up. There should be a state highway as well. It says number 19 to our east. That's to our left here. So what we can do is try and join that. I think he is far away. Well, there is a river here. Wonder where that is. Let me see. Now in the map, in Google Maps, I don't exactly see that river. That might be a road in real life. Yeah, that looks like a road instead of a river. And then we should be seeing a town on our left. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. Jurhera. 10 o'clock maybe, somewhere there. Oh, it looks so real. That's the one, I think. That's the one, Jurhera. My goodness, you can actually use Google Maps to navigate here. That is so cool. Where's the river? I'm getting lost again. You know what? Let's go and do some autopilot stuff here so I can focus a bit. Help us out a bit. Let's go runway, current heading, synchronize. Let's go and do a heading select. Turn on the FD, turn on the autopilot. Where is the autopilot switch? It's staring me right in the face, I have a feeling. AP, there we go. There we go. And then we go VS up a little until we reach 2500 and maintain that for me. So I don't have to fumble about and I can focus on the outside world. Thank you. Alright, let's do this. She flew over your house earlier. Did you see it? Amazing feeling, huh? Alright, let's see. Now, if we see Agra is right there, there's Taj Mahal, there's the river, and let me show you where we are so you can join me. So we are right here, yeah. Agra is right there. That's the airport we're going to. But before that, we are going and passing through Taj Mahal, which is somewhere. Is it this one? Is it that one? And that's the river beside it, Yamuna River. I think in terms of satellite images, from what I've seen so far, maybe it depends on the location, but Bing Maps looks better. Like for the Philippines, when I was doing my own ortho photos and explain, when I was downloading the satellite images manually, you could choose between Google or Bing. Normally the Bing Maps look more realistic. Like if you look at the green here from Google Maps, it's a bit like bluish. I don't know, it looks unnatural for me. The one from Bing looks like a more realistic color in my view. So what I'd like to do is trace this highway, this 19 route, and like how we can do that is maybe we turn right here on 44 to that junction. So we should see the highway straight in front of us. I'm just not sure how large it is, so maybe we won't be able to distinguish it. That's gonna be hard. From west to east, yes. If we go and make this simpler so it's easier to read, we can go for like Google Maps default, just like you're using your phone, right? So we can see that 144, 19, and then here is there's the airport. That's Agra. There's the river, so we can trace the river all throughout. So what I'll do is I'll go through here, merge into the 19, look for that river, and then follow it all the way through until we find Taj Mahal somewhere. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll keep it on our right side. So we'll probably cross the river or something like that. Okay, that's the plan, the high level plan. Now if we see something out here, that's a different question altogether. We should be crossing the road now. I think it's this one. 40. That's 44. And eventually, on our left, we should see 19. going parallel with the river. How do you place a marker? Here in the sim, Squirrel has, right now you cannot yet directly from this GPS, but Squirrel has a video how to find your house. And there he leverages creating a flight plan outside in the main menu, saving that to a flight plan file, opening the file and modifying the coordinates based on what you see from Google, where you want to really go, and loading that back up into the sim. And from there you can create custom waypoints to go to. So you can check his video out for more details. Could prove pretty useful. That's actually useful. You can see it from here. That is the route 19, the main road. So we should see it. I think it's this one. Yeah, that should be that one. Okay. So since we have that set now, let's follow it through. Keep that on our left for now. I love those clouds. Absolutely beautiful. And then the river should be coming up as well. My goodness, right? Shoo. That's the river, I think. So yeah, for autopilot purposes, like the basic maintaining level, following the heading, following nav points, it works. It's just not detailed enough for the fancy stuff. But for the basic stuff, it's there at least. Basic automation, so you can get a little bit of help from it. Trying to spot the river. The 7-8, yeah, I think we're going to catch up to him soon. I think this is like the tortoise in the hare race. You might still have a chance, guys. Maybe he's taking a photo of Taj Mahal, huh? That's why he's paused there, taking all sorts of angles. That's the highway for sure. I'm not seeing the river just yet. Okay, at that point where my mouse is, the river and the highway should come very close together. You can land on his wing. Perfect. I like the look of that. River is way far away from my view. That one, is it? That should bisect the road. Well, should go parallel to the road later on, hopefully. Nice. Oh, 3:50 a.m. My goodness, Calvin. Catch you on YouTube, man. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining us on this flight sim stream. More to come, hopefully. Yeah, this is great because when we're streaming, we're live together, and so you guys can help me out. I can explore more places where you are from. If you want to tour me somewhere, happily go on that tour. Oh, I love the placement of that sun. That's very photographic. Lovely. Although the clouds seem to be gathering up in here. Looks like it's going to rain soon, and I bet if we turn on Nextrad here, we'll get shocked again. See? I'm actually not sure if this is accurate. It seems a bit exaggerated to me. I'm not sure if that's really how it is. Like all the cells all red and orange. Not sure. Hopefully not, otherwise we're in for some big trouble. Canadian Rockies. Is that how you pronounce it? Let's put that on the list. Which airport is nearby? Maybe I can put that on my to-do list. Yeah, I think that's one problem that they have. I think they currently have a problem distinguishing between roads and rivers, because if you look close, that's actually displayed as a river there. That's water. And I doubt that really is the case. That should be a highway, shouldn't it? Weather for Agra. Cloudy. Temperature of 28 degrees Celsius. Pretty close. Wind is blowing from the west, 3 miles per hour. 94%, my goodness. Let's have a look at the wind. Wind option 3 is what I like. It is kind of blowing from the west, 230, and then a 3 knots, so that's pretty accurate. Wow, nice. So far that's looking good. I'll try to remember those letters. Thanks. Do you know what they stand for? Maybe I can remember better. Oh, looks like Tudumais is moving now. He probably has finished his photo taking session. Nice. Calgary to Kelowna. Okay, I think I can remember that better. Calgary, thanks man. Oh, I love this. Flying under clouds, like so. That looks pretty ominous. You can even see the shadow of the clouds. Set that up. I think so too. We will be in for a treat soon. Okay, river should be coming up close now. No, 1 sec, I'm wrong. That is actually really like a floodway. That is not the highway. Because if I zoom in Google Maps, there is something like that really. This is where we are, and that's the highway. So I was thinking it was that one, but it's too straight. So I was trying to see, and apparently, yeah, there is something really. It looks like a floodway. Nice. So yeah, we should move to the left and trace the road better. Okay, good. So there is a chance that will still be a proper road that we see up there. Hey bot! Server error, 48 hours until they fix it. Welcome back man, hope it gets fixed soon. I can imagine all the traffic in the Microsoft servers right now. I'm actually surprised that it didn't go down altogether. Imagine 120, 150 gigs per person. All those people downloading the same. Oh my goodness, the weather here. That looks a bit scary. I think we are not going in at the perfect time. Or maybe perfect depending on how you look at it. Man, that looks good. It does feel much better hand flying this thing though, so I'll let that go. I'll turn off the autopilot, turn off the flight director, and let's hand fly this thing again. Get your vomit bags ready. I think Jack is farming. Maybe space trucking. There should be a big highway coming close here. Not seeing it at the moment though. Had this issue for a while, so don't believe what they're saying. Yeah, I wonder what that is. Could it be a connection issue? So do the clouds look like they're thinning out, guys, or getting thicker? Because I think it's becoming overcast here very quickly. Those clouds look like they're holding a lot of water, huh? Can drop any moment now, but I love how the Yeah, how the sun still tries to seep through the clouds, and you see that effect, that glowing effect there. Beautiful. Oh, Tutumice, I think, disappeared altogether. There's the river. Unmistakably, the river finally, and this should be the highway. This should be the real highway now in front of us. I think it's that one, maybe? Maybe. It's kind of hard though. You see here a little bit of imperfection between the satellite images, transitioning from like a better quality to a more, I don't know, maybe different seasons. That looks very different, like you can see that straight line. So let's go and trace the river. That's easier to see, much easier to trace.
Lima contact Agra approach on 122 decimal tree.
Agra approach.
122 decimal tree Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
Just MS Flight Sim. Where did you buy from? Contact?
Agra approach Cirrus Romeo Papa 1 Charlie Lima 2,600 feet. Cirrus Romeo Papa 1 Charlie Lima Agra approach continue to Alpha Golf Golf as planned. Altimeter 29er decimal 47.
29er decimal 47.
Agra approach Cirrus Romeo Papa 1 Charlie Lima 21 miles northwest of Agra. Request IFR to Agra ready to go.
Oh, here we go again. Because I want to acknowledge and they don't reply to me.
Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima
I want to acknowledge their command, and apparently you don't need to acknowledge here in this built-in ATC. So in the process, I asked for a different command. Past the airport? Ah, thanks. I think the waypoint should be straight there. Is that the... Oh no, that's the airport already. I thought I set waypoints going there. Okay, but yeah, thanks for the heads up. Let's go and trace the river.
Continue to Alpha Golf Golf turning and following heading 130. Proceed on course climb and maintain 9,500 feet. Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
Microsoft Store. That's where I got it from as well. I am on the full release now, but it's basically the same. Not sure how to cancel IFR now. Well, let's ignore that for now. Let's worry about that later. Looks so good. We need some lights here. I actually like the analog dial better than the digital one. It's much easier for me to understand if I'm where I need to be. Like if I want to be at 2,500 or 500 for that matter, that large arm is so easy to see compared to that one. You have to like squint a bit to get an idea. Man, that looks so good. Very nice. I'm loving this view. Very high quality images as well from the looks of it. I like it. Well, let's see how that bridge looks like. Looks like a basic bridge. I doubt that's how it looks like IRL. Yeah, the bridges I think are a work in progress. Not seeing any other players here. Might be too early for India. Time's it near there now. 7:30. Yeah. I wonder what we can find here. Let's go and look at the map. Those are our breadcrumbs coming from the airport, zigzagging our way through. We're close now. Keatham Lake in front of us. See, I see anything? Oh yeah, that's the one. Keatham Lake. Nice. What else? Dolphin Water Park straight ahead. I wonder what kind of buildings are put in here. One sec. Let's go and get some assistance. Let's just turn on the POI. Actually, those are on. Okay, nice. So the Taj Mahal at the very least should be popping up when we get close to it. And if there are other buildings in here that are custom, we will also be able to see them if we come in range. Although I'm honestly not sure what the range is. So we'll just try and hug the river here. It's interesting, this huge contrast here, huh? Like very brown, barren look to something completely lush like that. Wonder if that's man-made. 80 bird. Any inside info on Pro Mods? Not really. I don't think even they have any inside info. Soon TM. For our trucking fans, this is something I would like to get an idea of. How do you feel about the new flight sim? Like for those who are into trucking but not into flight sim, like what you're seeing here, why is that? Do you like the driving aspect much better? Like, I want to get your inputs on those. Because for me, for sightseeing, my goodness, I couldn't ask for a better sightseeing tool. Although I do understand, yeah, driving through roads and those junctions and the country roads and exploring from up close and personal, that definitely has an appeal in its own. My goodness, this view. Just stare at this all day, huh? When the vid is coming with NL, what do you mean? When I'm using NL again? I'm not at the moment. I don't think I will use it until it becomes officially supported. It's just too complicated to feature. Lots of question marks. And then I will become NL tech support again. With almost every comment asking about how to make NL work. Clouds are definitely getting a bit lower. Might have to descend here soon. Cloud cover is getting more and more thicker. Looks lovely. You love the sightseeing aspect of it too. You don't know how to fly. Ah, yes, I totally get that. Yeah, and maybe you're not interested in flying, huh? Yeah, it's I guess that is like different spectrums. Some people have no interest in flying, some people might be interested but don't know how to. But yeah, I would say this sim is the best entry point if you are in the very least interested in flying. Starting off with the small planes, so good. The entire feel of it. Hey, thanks for the bits, Ninja Squirrel. Welcome back. Think flight sims are fun, but you just love trucks as a little kid. I see. I think flying either grabs you immediately or doesn't. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Ah, there we go. The airport is to the right. That's where we're landing later. And yeah, indeed. Jake caught it. We are going past the airport. I mean, look at the density of buildings in here, guys. So good. I didn't even notice because I didn't get a massive frame drop. I got a few stutters for a few seconds, but my goodness, look at how many buildings there are. And the fact that it's still smooth, the frame rate is low, probably lower than 30, but it's still smooth. That looks so good. What building is that? That's interesting. Like, what is that? Octagon kind of layout. You are interested in flying with your laptop, kind of. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Even though it's good for instruction and stuff, it does have a bit of a barrier when it comes to the system requirements. That's a good point. It's a good entryway if your system can handle it. International tourist spots, so there are way too many buildings for the tourists. Sorry, didn't quite get it, Jay. Which one are you referring to? The octagon thingy? Loving the look of the city as a whole. My goodness, that looks so good. There's Taj Mahal in the distance. All of them. How about that? Looks like a castle or fort of some sort. That looks like a train station. Oh, this place is so lush. Wow. I have to descend and go closer there. Maybe go 1,500 feet? 1,000 feet? There it is. And I have an idea where the nice angle could be. Circle our way here. Ease up on the throttle. Zoom out. There it is, guys. There it is. Actually, let's take one shot like this. Agra Fort. I don't think the walls are properly modeled in. That's the problem, look at that. When you do active pause and you're descending, you continue to descend. So you are at risk of crashing when you do that actually. So it should be that way. So you're not risking your speed too much. Although we are still risking it. Yeah, active pause isn't perfect at the moment. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Let's lower it a bit more. I do want to make that circle in here. For that perfect view. Pass it pretty close. Should be seeing it soon. Again. There it is. Let's dive for it. That looks really good, huh? How about that one? Speed is more or less stable. I like it. Let's see if we can take a photo. Still not so used to the controls. There you go. Zoom in a bit. There you go. Yeah, thumbnail confirmed. That's true. Being part of the wonder of the world. I think I like this better actually. Zoom out a bit. There you go. Okay. Whew. My arms are getting tired. Alright. That looks beautiful. Great suggestion, thank you.
500.
So nice. Fly behind near the river. Yeah, I was thinking of getting a shot from like this angle, but I'll play around with it later. This looks great, man. Thanks. Let's go and land this thing. And then we hop on to the other side of the world, checking out Grand Canyon. Trump was here a few months ago. Oh, was he? Didn't know that.
Agra approach Cirrus Romeo Papa. 1 Charlie Lima requesting vector to next waypoint.
There's the airport actually.
Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima turn right heading 130, resume on navigation.
I wonder where he's asking us to go.
Turn right heading 130, proceed on course Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
Just fly over here
Agra
until
approach
we
Cirrus Romeo Papa.
sort
1
things.
Charlie Lima requests destination change to Agra. Cirrus Romeo Papa. 1 Charlie Lima is cleared to Agra Airport as filed. Squawk 0427. Cirrus Romeo Papa. 1 Charlie Lima cleared to Agra Airport
There's
as
the
filed.
airport.
Squawk
Winds.
0427.
Wind looks like
Cirrus
this
1
is the
Charlie
best
Lima
runway
read back
for it.
correct. Radar contact 1,800 feet. Altimeter 29.44 turn right heading 080. Proceed on course climb and maintain 9,700 feet.
Yeah, okay, that doesn't make sense at all.
Turn right heading 080.
Ah, there we go,
Proceed
cancel
on course
IFR,
climb
that's what I
and
want.
Maintain 9,700 feet. Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
Cancel IFR.
Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima, you are 2 miles northeast. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors visual runway 5 approach.
Let's go and look for the windsock to see if things are consistent.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors visual runway 5 approach. Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
There are actually 2 runways here. Let's go and cancel
Agra approach Cirrus
IFR.
1 Charlie Lima would like to cancel IFR. Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated.
You guys see the
Squawk
windsock?
7000. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved.
Don't see the windsock at all. Right, let's go and tune into Agra. Request full stop landing.
Agra Tower Cirrus Romeo Papa. 1 Charlie Lima 1 miles west to land.
Thanks for following. Welcome to the channel. Sorry,
Cirrus Romeo
it's a bit
Papa.
busy.
1 Charlie Lima Agra Tower. Make left downwind runway 5. Altimeter 29.44 wind 174 at 4.
Yeah, that's weird. 174 at 4, but you're asking me to go runway 5? Okay.
Make left traffic runway 5 Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
This is runway 23. Runway 5 is actually the other way. Okay. Alright, but let's follow air traffic control, fine. Runway 5, so let me track here. Runway 5 is this way. So if we go downwind, we should be heading the opposite way. That means we'll have a bit of tailwind when we land. Okay. Start descending here. Quick save. Okay, 05 should be on the opposite side. That's fine. So if we go downwind here, that should be pretty much what ATC is asking us to do. My goodness, how can we display all these buildings without slowing to a crawl? Amazing what they've been able to do here. Just unbelievable. That looks like a proper downwind. I can go with that. Now, regarding flaps, this guy has 119, 105. Sorry, I know it was a bit shaky. They have 2 notches of flaps. One can be triggered at 119 knots. One is within the white range here, so that should be okay. Right, that looks pretty good. Let's just continue through here. Yeah, we'll get a bit of tailwind, but we do have a very long runway, so it shouldn't matter that much. And then it looks like we turn left on the ramp, on the on the taxiway somewhere to the ramp. We'll see where we end up. Right, that looks good. Speed check below 120 knots. 1 notch of flaps.
Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima cleared to land runway 5.
That's what I like.
174 at tree. Cleared to land runway 5 Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
Hey PDX, thanks for 2 months, man. Wow, goodness. Appreciate it. You've been. How is Mrs. Clumsy doing? She's doing good. She is exploring with me sometimes when she gets curious enough with the place. Let's turn base here. Now I can't remember what the approach speed for this plane is. I'm guessing around 70 knots. So that's around the rotation speed. So I'm just going to follow that. Turn base. Looks good. It looks like it's raining now. Even the airport lights have started coming on. Let's go and get 1 more notch of flaps in. We are a bit high. So let's go and lose all that altitude bit by bit. Have to idle here. Just coast along. There we go, there's the runway. Where are the pappy lights? Can't see anything. There we are, bleed off that speed bit by bit.
500.
Actually has an altitude call out as well, interesting. Trim here, trim here. Apply a bit of power. Looks good. Way fast descent there. Right, that should be okay. There we go. I can take that. GG indeed. Thanks again, PDX. Have to set an event. So don't forget next time. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Actually, we can turn off here.
Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima, turn next taxiway.
Well, we can turn here instead. Looks good. Actually, I think I forgot some stuff. Yeah, the landing lights I forgot to turn on. But that's fine.
Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima, contact ground on 122 decimal tree.
Flaps up. Thank you.
Going to 122 decimal tree, Cirrus 1 Charlie Lima.
Now, we'll just stay here somewhere. Turn off pitot heat, you don't need that anymore. Sub hype, well landed, kinda-ish. At least it didn't crash. I'll take that. Let's fly with the Robin next in the Grand Canyon. I love that plane. My absolute favorite. Sounds good, feels good. Very well done. Complete checklist and everything. Perfect for beginners like me. Alright.
Engaging autopilot.
No, don't engage the autopilot. What do we do now? Landing lights can go off. Strobe nav can go off. Avionics can go off. Mixture can be cut off. Turn that off there. Batteries can go off and we should be good there, I think, more or less. Alright. That was amazing. I think the Nagpur one we move to the next stream. Let's validate. Does that work? Don't think it detected that. I think it's it seems to be having a bit of trouble with automatically ending the flight. Okay, fine. So let's do the Grand Canyon, and then if we have time, let's do the Nagpur. Take those requests one bit by bit. Did I change my mind? What did I say before? For a bit of a different ambiance, let's go and jump in there. Forbidden City. Ooh, that's in China, I guess. Interesting. Beijing. Is that Japan? So this should be here. Grand Canyon should be somewhere here, right? Sedona. It's a famous airport. Is Sedona closest to the Grand Canyon? Kay says. Marketplace, yeah, sure. No, it doesn't have any study level planes at the moment. I think we'll have to wait. Yeah, we only have one plane at the moment. It's by Carenado. We have a couple of airports, landmarks and stuff, and then the official upgrades. I think Lowy is an interesting purchase if you're interested in flying in Innsbruck. This K Denver, Leeds Bradford. Maybe not me. Yeah. What I was saying was about study level planes, I think. Yeah, I was afraid it wouldn't meet the expectations. But in all honesty, it blew right past my expectations. Goodness. The only thing we're missing now are study level planes. But in the meantime, I can practice on the smaller planes and get a handle on flight mechanics. Orcas Island. Ooh. Where is Orcas Island? Around Flagstaff. We actually have some people here. Nintendo Jez. That's cool. You can actually see them. Cool. Okay, let's see them the map. Kay says here. The Cessna. You mean that one by Carenado? Really? Normally the planes by Carenado aren't study level based on their track record. But maybe they changed that now. Alright, let's go for Grand Canyon. Where is that? North of Arizona from what I remember. Is that here already? Right there? But this is Sedona. I think it's best if I just remove that bit. National Forest. Is it this one? Grand Canyon, there you go. Okay, so this entire bit here. So we do have an airport here. Kilo Golf Charlie November. So let's see if we can see that in. There you go. Alright. So we can do that, and then where can we go from there? You guys recommend going west or east from this point? Let's go and switch to the Robin. absolute favorite at the moment. Okay, my tail number is there. The one you found. Okay, thank you. Go north. Alright, so let's go and look north. So from the Grand Canyon National Park, lots of people flying here. This will be fun. Oh, actually some real life planes as well, I think. This is live traffic. Oh, but it's night. We have to change that. Yeah, I think we'll have to say all players so we can change the time. So we can switch to live weather, but the time we can make it like, what will be a nice time, guys? Morning? Sunrise or middle of the day, so we see the full brunt of the canyon? Well, we can always change it in the middle. So maybe let's start 7 a.m. like that. The nice morning sunlight. Alright, and then let's make our way here to, what is that? Grand Canyon Airport. This might be the one you're... Huh. Interesting. Yeah. This is only grass. But we can handle that. This plane can make that work. So yeah, we can do this. We can loop around, start from the south, make our way north, west, east, and then land on a different airport. I think that can be a thing. Okay. Let's go and get something from here. Winds look like they're pretty calm based on that help there. So we can depart runway 21. Set that as departure. Yeah, looks good. Due north of the airport is the mile deep landmark of the canyon. Perfect. Alright, thank you. Oh, there. Yeah. Page Grand Canyon. Ah. So wait a minute. The Grand Canyon is north of this Kilo Golf Romeo Mike. Then that should be where we're coming from, actually. And it looks like there is no taxiway. Okay. So let's take runway 33. And then let's make our way through here. There's like page. This one maybe we can set as arrival. Nice. Cool. That one is Colorado City. Oh, can we go to... What is that? What's that place that monument is where you cross the four corners, 4 states? Is that to the west? Oh, that would be interesting. Cessna 172 Skyhawk. Is that the one from the Premium Deluxe? That's a built-in plane, right? Vegas at night, that's true. Okay, let's start from here and then let's fly wherever we want to. as long as we have time. Let's go and load that up. We can decide when we're airborne. The only thing is this plane doesn't have autopilot because it's super basic when it comes to aviation stuff, to systems rather. So I won't be able to hand off my controls to the autopilot. 4 corners, there you go. Hey Rohan, someone's been busy. How have you been? Join me, Mr. 75. Have you done your flying lessons yet? Been very nice. Kilo Golf Romeo Mike, Grand Canyon Airport, where? I'm not sure this qualifies as an airport. More like a straight bit of road. Straight bit of, not even road. You did finish your flying lessons, nice. Found out the hard way when you crash landed in your house that there is no autopilot, yes. Yes, this is one bug I think that they mentioned. When you start off in a very high altitude area, I think the default is that the mixture is full, and in a full mixture in a high altitude it doesn't really work, so your plane gets drowned and dies off. So let's try that again. and let's immediately pull back on the mixture. I think that's one of the weaknesses in starting off immediately. There we go, it's alive. We managed to save it, I think. Now what I'm not sure of is how you determine what is the right one. So I think what we can do some kind of run up. Still have our brakes on, right? Yes. So some kind of run up. And then we can play around with the mixture to find the maximum RPM. So you see, as you go forward with rich mixture, the revs actually are decreasing. So we find that mix with the highest revs, and I think that's going to be the most powerful setting. That one looks like it. That's my guess. In terms of carb heat, do we need it? Tad just taught me that one. Okay, it looks like not. But we'll pull it anyway. Beginning. Although we might need the extra performance, so I'll keep it that way. Okay. 299er2. I have doubts that that is really the correct altimeter setting. So what I'll do is I will get maybe the altimeter from this airport. And this airport says it should be 3030. 3030 actually. Very different. Let's also... Wait a minute. Turn that down to like 1000 RPMs. There we go, a little bit of lighting. That should be good. Alright, 3030 it said. Actually even higher up. So let me double check. It does say here we are at almost 9,000 feet. And the elevation of this airport... Well, we don't have it here. Okay, fine. You made your co-pilot fly the whole trip. You were just enjoying the view. Look at you, smart man. Delegating. Okay, let's make sure that the trim is in takeoff position. That's right here. That one in the white range. Flaps are up for takeoff. Looking good. Alright, let's do this. Release the parking brake and off we go. In center line here. Now we would have a much longer takeoff roll here, I think, because we have reduced performance because of the altitude. So we have to be very patient and see. I think I can also use a bit of ground effect here. Getting that right. There's actually a special procedure to do for when you are taking off in grass runways, I think, but I'm not familiar with it. So you can see that's not very good. We're not actually accelerating. There you go. I'll have to study that more, but for now, let's leave it like this. Alright, there we go, finally. 100 kph. Whew. That was scary, that was bumpy. Oh my goodness, we're still not safe. Not sure if this plane is great for this kind of terrain, guys. Maybe I should not have put in any flaps. So we are at risk of crashing here. Not clearing anything. Climb. There we go, just a bit. Give me a bit more. There we go. Starting to gather some airspeed. Starting to climb a little. Oh no, trees up ahead, guys. Is the black screen coming? Come on, come on. it's struggling so hard. My goodness. Can barely climb. I think we're closely reaching the ceiling, service ceiling for this guy. Pull up. It can't pull up at all. We might have to reset that. Look at that. I'm not climbing at all, guys. Come on. Climb a little. Looks like it's game over, guys. Point of no return and I'm still not climbing. No! Jump out! Let us off! Let's try that again, one more time. We did see a bit of the crash before the black screen. Goodness, that stuff. Alright, this is challenge. Okay, I'm not going to put in any flaps. I think I'll need the perf there. Landing lights are on. Okay, looks good. What do you guys think? Okay, that should be good. Okay, let's see. No flaps. That might make a difference. Takeoff power is set. Put in right rudder so we maintain center line. Just going to keep it here. Come on, airspeed. Need you to build up for me. If this doesn't work, we can try starting off in the other airport, which is maybe a bit more friendly. Welcome to the channel. Sorry, just a bit busy. I'll get back to you in a bit. Alright. 100 knots. Should be able to get some speed in. Come on, climb, climb. There we go. Yes, continue please. Now this is hard, huh? Really pushing the limits of the engine. Turning up on grass is not the same at all, yeah. From what I've seen, you need some kind of... Looks like you need to lift up your nose wheel a bit faster, something like that. No, we're not really climbing up, guys. We're not climbing. Come on. Maybe get a bit more... I have an idea. Okay, let's try this. Well, there are a set of trees ahead of me, which might not be good. I have an idea. Nose down. Climb up. There we go. Yeah, we'll need to gather some airspeed, a lot of it first before we climb up. Gather a bit of momentum before we pull on the nose. So let's stay here, get some ground speed, build up some airspeed, and right when we really need to, that's when we pull up like so. And off we soar. Not really the classification of soaring, but climbing bit by bit. Still not enough. I'm still falling, guys. Maybe we should just use the road. Jumps out, swoop maneuver. Let's just follow the road. See where it takes us. Oh no! Oh no, here we go again. Alright. Airspeed, please. Airspeed. Give me something. Come on, climb. Wow, this is hard, huh? This is good practice actually. I need to learn how to do this. Very different from like just taking off on runways and on low altitudes. Absolute game changer. Didn't expect it would feel so different. I love it. Another completely new thing to learn. Okay. Actually, I didn't even set the altimeter, so that probably is reading wrong, but we're not really that concerned about altimeter. We're more concerned if the tree we're facing is already if we're close to the tree or not. Get up to 150 knots here and then climb up. Hey Nightmare, thanks for joining. Sorry, we're in a bit of a pickle. I'm doing something I am not very much familiar with, but hopefully we get through the past of it. Looks like we are slowly starting to build up airspeed now. Okay, but yeah, that is something I definitely will need to learn more in the future. Bush flying for the win. Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love that. That was fun. We're still not yet out of the woods completely, but I do see the Grand Canyon up ahead already. Okay, let's get some speed again to 150 knots. And climb. Not too fast though. Learn not to die. That would be a good lesson to learn, yes. Now it does say, let's go and tune in near the center. So we get proper altimeter and everything.
Los Angeles Center, Robin Romeo Papa. 1 Charlie Lima is type Robin DR 48 miles north of Kilo Golf Romeo Mike. Request flight following. Robin Romeo Papa. 1 Charlie Lima, Los Angeles Center. Squawk 2061.
Okay, we have a lot more altitude headroom now.
Squawk 2061, Robin
There we
1
go.
Charlie Lima.
Now we should be able to climb a bit
Robin
more.
1 Charlie Lima radar contact 8 miles northeast of Kilo Golf Romeo Mike 8,800 feet. Altimeter 30.06.
Nice, there we go.
Copy Robin 1 Charlie Lima.
There you go. That's the right altimeter setting. Alright. Now, are we climbing? That's the question. Now, to climb, best rate of climb here is 150 kilometers per hour in this plane, I think. Just going to play with the mixture a bit. We are keeping our current altitude. Maybe that's the best we can hope for. VATSIM is out, yes. Not so sure I am confident in using it though with this sim. This looks amazing indeed. Much more amazing that we're not close to crashing anymore. That was so nice. I'll have to learn that more. I'll do more of that later on offline. That was super cool. Right, we are descending here. Let me get a bit of altitude up here. Keep it at 150 kph. That's right, exactly where we are. Barely climbing. I think this is the ceiling. It does say like the ceiling of this one is like 13,000, but maybe it depends on the, I don't know, weather and everything. Screenshot. We'll screenshot later when we get to the canyon itself, I think. Right there. Looks like a lot of other folks taking photos. Let's trim here properly so I don't have to pull on the stick so much. There we go. It's more like it. We are climbing like 100 feet per minute. If even that. My goodness. So much to explore, I know, right? Literally the world. Wow. Definitely. I've been hearing about it, but I was not really paying close attention when I was watching Aviation 101's videos. He went to Alaska and they went on some like high altitude takeoffs there. And he was like really stretching out, highlighting the importance of that the procedure for high altitude takeoff. And I have to rewatch that because I'm sure there are some concepts there that I have not grasped well enough yet. Thus our that kind of takeoff, but my goodness, that was so cool. That was so cool. Enjoyed that one. The good thing is we are pretty high up here, so we don't really need to climb anymore. So I think we can actually afford to lose a little bit of altitude here. What do you guys think? Pretty well for the second time. It was pretty scary, my goodness. And I wasn't sure if I needed flaps or not. I removed it, but I'm not sure if that was the right thing to do. That was cool though, I really had fun there. We'll do it again. Very soon. Push flying for the win. There it is. Grand Canyon is coming up. Actually, we are getting in here already. The only thing is there are a lot of players, so the names are popping up. If we go to drone mode, will they still be there? Oh, they are. It's kind of sad. I have to remove them. Stop. Okay, so I think we go to traffic. Show traffic nameplates. I think they should have hotkeys for all these. have a feeling we're doing something bad. Okay, keep that. Keep that and active pause, and let's take a photo, guys. That doesn't look half bad, huh? Let's fly closer to those canyons. Probably not the best time to have your engine quit on you. You can even hear the wind. If you're using headphones, you can actually hear the wind blowing past you. Hey Rata, how are you, man? Yeah, most likely Arizona. Let's go and step into here. I bet the winds will be crazy. Yeah, there you go. Once you get closer to the ridge like this, I bet the winds inside there would be crazy. Will be getting thrown off left, right, and center. How have you been, man? I'm doing good as well. Having so much fun with this new simulator. This is exactly what I was hoping for and more. Yeah, the aerodynamics, guys, just unbelievable. Once you get closest to a surface like this, I wish there was an option like so you can see the wind. That would be very educational, like how they showed it in the videos when they were previewing this. There you go, updraft. That's the term. Yeah, see? We're getting blown up. Goodness. You're so pumped to have it ready to go, but you had to watch your new puppy. Oh, that's great to hear that you're also into this. Maybe we can catch each other in the skies pretty soon. Where are you planning to fly first? Here we go. Oh, that doesn't look bad at all, huh? One sec. Nice. Not too shabby, eh? Just really want to sightsee. Look for your house. Everyone does it. That's the first thing I did as well. Okay, I think this is a good altitude. Let's maintain like 5,000 feet here. Oh my goodness, the wind here is wild. Can we go lower? Close to that river? Is that the river? Oh my goodness. Screenshot. Yeah, just did. Fly from San Diego, where you live now, to your original hometown in St. Louis, Missouri. Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm doing as well. Trying to look for real places to explore. Oh, you know what I'm doing? So I have a colleague who is a drone pilot. He flies drones. And he takes a lot of amazing footage. And he has this Facebook page. And he has a lot of images. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check where he was, check which images he got, and I'm going to try and recreate those here. I'll basically copy his bright ideas. Oh yeah, that's a bit of weird stuff there, like the satellite image getting stretched out. But it's nice to see that they got that kind of like elevation proper data at the very least. The photos? Yes, sure. Yeah, I'm thinking of a good way to share photos, not only in flight sim but truck sim as well. Because sharing them in Discord is nice, but you know, it would be nice to have like single album for them. Maybe I can share them in my Facebook page, post them there, just dump everything in there. Or is Google Drive a possibility as well, making it a public link with everyone access to it? What do you guys use for photo sharing? This is so cool. Let's maintain that. 4,500 feet I think is good. Flicker. Flick. It's not us. I don't think I have a Flickr account anymore. I used to have to back in the day, I think. So nice.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet T on 520.
Not too shabby, eh? Whoa, getting blown off by the wind. It's beautiful. Google Photos. Is that something I can share publicly, like a local account? Maybe if I upload them to Google Drive, it would be shareable. I'll have to think how to do that. But let me know, guys, if you have ideas. Facebook will be the easiest one for me since I already have a Facebook account. I'm just making an album there. But maybe I can even make it automated, like synchronize my photo directory with Google Drive backup and then make that a public link so you guys can check it out. Let me see if I can share that because I already do that. I already back it up in Google. And the question is, can I share it? Oh, this looks so good, doesn't it? So one sec, guys, try something. My goodness, the time is running out. I want to try so many things still. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, that's so cool. That would probably be the best lighting. It's very scorching hot. Microsoft Flight Sim Photos and Google Photos banned. And it looks like it's time to stop the stream because it looks like the sim just crashed on me with that time change I did. On the dot. Oh, we're back. Wow, longest stutter ever. You guys still there? It would be scorching hot. Having a big heat wave in the southwest US right now. Yikes. Stay safe, man. I thought we were entering helicopter. Let's go ahead and land this thing somewhere. We'll have to get out of this ridge first though.
Contact Los Angeles Center on 124.2.
130 degrees, my goodness. Can we land here?
124.2.
Hey, we can try landing here. But maybe with all those updrafts, that wouldn't be healthy, huh? You guys think we should try landing there? Bush plane feels. Share it publicly. Thanks, I'll have a look. Sounds good.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet United 683.
I can descend, but I cannot ascend. Well, barely. Oh, that looks great from there. Okay, I think we are climbing bit by bit. I'm not sure if we can make this one though. I think we'll have to get a bit more space in. Maybe that one we can fly over. Alright, let's see. 2500 on the RPM, so we are stretching it out really to the capacity of this plane. But yeah, we are barely climbing, guys. Getting there though. Getting there bit by bit. Should just keep 150 kilometers per hour here. Best rate of climb, I think. I hope that's not a dead end. Oh, I love it. If you look closely, you can actually see trees there now. That looks so good. This is what I was saying. So the satellite images are kind of okay-ish, right? In some areas it's very high quality, but in some it's not. But if you put all those trees in, everything looks so much better. Yeah, we won't be able to climb here. Have to do a sharp turn. 60-degree turn or something. Hang tight, guys. Sharp turn coming in. Right, there we go. Whew, lost a lot of altitude there. But we're alive. I think we'll try landing there because I have to end the stream soon. Here, where was it? Where was that thing? Too scary. That one. Try landing there. Who needs altitude anyway? Altitude is overrated. There. My goodness. Is that the thing? Good luck taking off from there, huh? Right, there we are. Oh my goodness. Oh no, this will not work. This will not work. Flaps up. One more time. I came in too hot. Too high. Go around. Let's do that one more time, guys. Jumps. How about that ridge right there? That might be safer. No, we can do this. We can do this. Oh, it's getting pretty close. Let's get a sharper turn here. Okay. Turning base. It's like turning base. Let's get as much space as we... Yeah, I was not expecting it to look this good. I don't think this was handcrafted, right? I don't know, maybe. Don't have confirmation on that. So let's get as much space through here so we have enough room to maneuver. Pitch down. Get some altitude up. Where are we losing altitude instead? Alright, here we go again. Second time. Second time's the charm. 2 notches of flaps. We are landing by hook or by crook. Just coast along, coast along. Aim for the... wherever you can aim for. Stop. Well, we survived somehow. It didn't black screen, but I guess we lost our nose wheel somewhere. Just the Bing data. My goodness, yeah, it looks so great. Easy. The handbrake is set. No, the challenge is taking off from here, but let's not do that anymore. So, hey Sheng, thanks for dropping by. Perfect timing there. Alright, so amazing stuff guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I had so much fun. Let's do this again real soon. Oh, I'll have a lot to talk about in Discord. Thanks everyone. GG. Thank you for the recommendations, Jay, Alex. Let's check out Nagpur next time. Thank you. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for staying. Clumsy flying. We're actually sliding off bit by bit. Probably because of the wind. Alright, thank you. And bye-bye. Clumsy flying.